And now they got a chance to walk it down. Shooting free throws will be Downs, a 76% free throw shooter. And they can make it a 4-point game here, where a couple of minutes ago that didn't seem possible. You and I looked at each other when it was 31-18 during the timeout, and we kind of said they'll make a run before halftime, and they are.
Well, a team like Gonzaga, they can just score. I mean, Mark Few is one of the best offensive coaches and one of the best coaches in the country, period, but very good offensively, and he lets this team play with rhythm and flow, and he wants them to be confident, looking for their offense, looking for their shot.
1 of 2 for Micah Downs, and a minute and a half to go. First half in Knoxville.
This 2-3 zone has been very effective for Gonzaga because it's really forced Tennessee into a slower pace. All of a sudden they're standing more, and they need to flash into the middle of that zone and get a little more cutting, a little bit better action.
Tyler Smith got his man up. J.P. Prince on the drive. Got it.
What really led to that, Brad, was a ball screen up at the top. J.P. Prince set that ball screen.
What a save by Chisholm, but it goes right back into Gonzaga, and they're going to score.
We give great credit to Chisholm for the hustle, but that save created a 5-on-4 opportunity in favor of Gonzaga. They wound up getting a layup out of it. You got to throw it toward your basket. That's easy to say when Chisholm's the one crashing out of bounds, and I'm sitting comfortably on the sidelines. That's what you have to do.
The two guys he took out are still laughing back here. Prince tries another one, and he's fouled.
Boy, another seal on the middleman, this time by Wayne Chisholm. And Prince again had the easy path to the basket after beating the initial defender. You can see, watch the seal right there by Chisholm. That keeps Heidfeld. Heidfeld's got to fight harder to get around that. It's one thing to be sealed, but you can't allow yourself to be sealed. That's not something that a coach can diagram for you and say, here are the steps you need to take to get around it. You just got to fight and get around it.
J.P. Prince at the free throw line, a little push shot. And again, he's not getting any lift off those ankles. The ankle he hurt the day before the Temple game, as where the carpet meets the actual red flooring. He didn't notice that he was chasing a loose ball, and he hit that little drop off and turned his ankle rather badly and missed 3 games because of it. He's got his first 2 free throws, 6 points and a half, 7-point lead. About a 3-second difference on the shot clock and the game clock here in the first half. If it's coming from the outside, Bolden or Gray would be the best choices right now for the guys on the floor for Gonzaga.
And Micah Downs as well, one of the better 3-point shooters on this team. So everybody's got to stay home.
Heidfeld sets a pick for Bolden. He'll take the shot. In and out. Tennessee rebound. J.P. Prince. Not enough time to get a shot away. Well, the story has been Cameron Tatum, the 6'6" freshman out of Lithonia, Georgia. 4A Player of the Year in Georgia last year. Career high 19 all in the first half. And at the break, 40-33. Tennessee with a lead as we head to the Dick's Sporting Goods halftime report. Carl and Jimmy Joe standing by. 6-0 run to start things off for Gonzaga, and all of a sudden 22,000 folks are going, whoa, what did we come out in this cold night for? And then Cameron Tatum showed them why.
I'm not sure how well Tennessee played, but Cameron Tatum played really well.
Exactly.
He went 7 of 10 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3. The rest of the team was 7 of 24 from the field, 1 of 8 from 3. So it was the Cameron Tatum show in the first half, and Brady did it in a variety of ways, knocking down perimeter shots. He got to the rim once. He got a tip in. I mean, he was just all over the place and just did a really nice job of lifting his team up. Scored the first 14 points scored by the Volunteers in this game. And then everybody else got a little bit of confidence. Right. But if I were Tennessee right now, I wouldn't be overconfident. I wouldn't want to get a false sense of security, because he scored a ton of points, and we're talking about a Gonzaga team that has missed 7 free throws. Jeremy Pargo has turned it over 5 times. I wouldn't expect them to play as poorly in the second half as they did in the first.
There you see the flames on Cameron Tatum. The rest of the team with 21. He's got 19. But Gonzaga was very streaky. They started off shooting 60%. They went in the tank and went 1 for 7, but they finished 8 for 15 and put a run on to get to the 7-point deficit. They were down at 15 points at one point. Well, I guess he's going to start exactly where he left off.
How could you leave him open? Gonzaga went to a 1-3-1 zone there with Jeremy Pargo on the baseline. And when the ball went to the right side of the floor, how can you leave Cameron Tatum that wide open after he torched you in the first? Didn't they see the graphic?
They didn't see the flames. There's a block shot underneath by Chisholm. The outlet to Tyler Smith on the flush.
Yeah, I think they need a timeout. I'd call a timeout if I were Mark Few.
He is. What a way to start the second half for the Volunteers. High flying, long shooting. Tatum first and then Tyler Smith.
To order ESPN Full Court, call your pay-per-view provider today.
Dave, 5 quick points and a quick timeout, and now full court pressure Gonzaga's going to face.
Well, Gonzaga really needed that timeout to get refocused on what they need to do in this second half to win on the road. Now, that was not a very good start for Gonzaga, especially on the defensive end, to leave Cameron Tatum that wide open against that 1-3-1.
Here's Day guarded by Smith. Bolden, who led the team in scoring in the first half, going to try inside and got a chance for a three-point play. Take you inside the play and show you what Jay Billis was talking about the opening of the second half.
Anytime you've got a hot player, you've got to have an awareness of where he is. When the ball gets here, this defense collapses and goes in that way. Here's Cameron Tatum, and nobody has an awareness for where he is. Stephen Gray right in the middle of the lane. Look how much space he has to cover in order to get a hand up. And he had no shot because that young man, as we have seen, is on fire.
Yes, he is. Aaron pass inside. Picked off. Margot brings it up and kicked out of bounds by Tyler Smith. It'll still be Gonzaga's ball.
Well, anytime Pargo's bringing the ball up, you have to be aware of what's coming behind you. Back flow defense to back tip it in transition. Tennessee awfully good at that.
Nice lead for Bolden from Pargo.
That was just a terrific cut. That's called the UCLA cut. And Bolden cut hard. And anytime you've got a guy that's cutting, you have to take away the ball side of that cut. You can't let him cut across your face.
Here's J.P. Prince on a nice cut through the lane. Now it's up and down the court in a hurry. Bolden's going to try a triple. Got it. Bolden is the hot hand right now. He's got 20.
It's been a real back and forth between Tatum and Matt Bolden.
Tatum got his man in the air, and then those long arms of Day blocked it. And the long arms of Day snatched down the rebound.
Day and Smith have really taken each other out of this game.
Collision between Heitfeld and Chisholm. And foul is going to be on Heitfeld, his third.
Take a look at Bolden. He's going to cut right off of Austin Day. That's a UCLA cut. Cameron Tatum went behind the screen instead of jumping to the ball and taking the ball side of that cut away. And then in transition, setting his feet. We've seen Matt Bolden essentially do it all in this game. He's been posting up guards and scoring inside and taking them outside and knocking down perimeter shots.
Led the team in three-pointers a year ago with 46. His first one of the second half came moments ago to cut into the lead. That makes it a 6-point game.
Now Stephen Gray in the 2-3 zone right on top of Cameron Tatum and matching up, staying with him.
Tatum got his man in the air again twice, and now that three-pointer won't go.
Well, Gray really stayed with that. He went for 2 shot fakes, but really did a good job of getting back for that third one.
He's either a quick jumper or he didn't leave his feet too badly on either one of those, because he still stayed right with him. You're right.
I was always seen as a very disciplined defender, but people didn't know it was because I couldn't jump.
You had the slow first jump, and then you backed it up with a slower second jump. Here's Gray. Got it.
Yeah, that young man can really play. If he ever gets a sense of aggressiveness where he's hungry to score every time down, he is going to be more than a handful for anybody.
When you said at halftime, I wouldn't be comfortable if I was Tennessee. The lead's been cut to 3. The foul on the drive by Chisholm is going to be on Foster.
Stephen Gray can do it all. Again, ball screen. Will Foster, the 7'5" player, setting a little ball screen, and Tennessee goes underneath it. You cannot go underneath a ball screen when Stephen Gray's got the ball in his hands. He is too good of a shooter.
Wayne Chisholm at the free throw line. 1 out of 2 tonight. And he rips that one. It's his 6th point. He had an elbow and a spine injury suffered against Louisiana on a rough fall getting back defensively, and was taken off on a stretcher, and everybody held their breath. I said to Wayne when he was warming up before the game, I said, you landed on a good spot in your head. That's why you're still okay. Bolden 3 at this time. Mays the outlet to Prince, and he missed the reverse layup. He was in a little too deep.